Now, President Trump recently announced that there will be nationwide raids conducted to arrest members of undocumented families. Now, that has been scheduled for this weekend, for Sunday, but there's also some reporting that they've already actually begun. Now, the raids will be conducted by ICE over multiple days, will include something called collateral deportations. Now, that's, of course, deportations where authorities will detain immigrants who just happen to be there, right? Oh, we're not actually targeting you. We're actually wanting to target the criminals. But if you're there, well, then we're going to take you in anyway because you're undocumented. Now, it's supposed to take place in about 10 major cities. I wouldn't be surprised if there were more. So now this was actually supposed to happen last month, but thanks to Donald Trump and his complete incompetence, they actually had to postpone it. Because for one, it's a massive undertaking. I mean, you're literally going to take a lot of agents and go raid these different places to get undocumented immigrants, ship them out of the country. That's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of planning. It's going to take a lot of money. And now that these immigrants, they know about that this is happening, well, then they could either move or they'll be prepared to fight against it. And how can you do that? Well, it's because immigration officials can't actually come in to your house. They can't break into your house. They can't force their way. You actually have to let them in. It's kind of like a vampire, how that works. No, just let me into your house. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm going to have to see a warrant first. And so that's how you can deal with ICE agents. The other reason, of course, that it got postponed is because there are border agents that said, wait a minute, you're putting us in danger. People are going to come after us now. And so we feel like we're going to be in danger. Thanks a lot for just blurting this out. Now, the New York Times also notes that the administration wants to use the operation as a show of force to deter families from approaching the border. Well, how does that work out? Oh, no, first it was the detention camps that were a deterrent, and now the raids. But the raids will actually lead to more detentions because, again, they have to process people and then get them shipped out of the country. Well, now you're going to have more people that are being detained in these camps. But see, that's the whole point. The people running some of these detention facilities are private prison corporations. You have Geo Group and CoreCivic. And right now, it costs $700 a day per migrant to house them in these facilities. Now, how much money do you think that goes to actually taking care of the migrants? Again, we detailed the conditions inside these facilities. A lot of kids have no beds. And the administration has argued that they shouldn't even have soap or toothpaste. How much of that money per day is being spent on housing these migrants? No, somebody's making money off this, and a lot of it. And more raids equals more people in the facilities, and that equals more profit. It's not a deterrent. Again, it hasn't even worked because the amount of people that are still coming into this country is at a 13-year high. And at the same point, and this is interesting, right? Obama actually had deported more people than Donald Trump. Why? It's because Donald Trump, instead of deportations, is actually holding more people. They're holding them so that these companies can make a profit. Is there any wonder why, when Donald Trump got elected, stocks for these companies, private prison corporations, went way up? I think we know why. But what's Trump personally getting out of this, though? It costs a lot of money, and it's making somebody a lot of money, right? These private prison corporations. What does Trump personally get out of it? Because, again, when you look at anything, any policy, anything that's going on in this administration, you have to ask, okay, well, how is Trump personally benefiting? I mean, he doesn't have a wall, right? He didn't pass tax cuts for the rich because it's not, or he did pass tax cuts for the rich, but it's not really popular with the American people. What is he getting out of this? Well, he's getting what those two things have failed to do. A reason for people to reelect him. And that's the thing. He's running for reelection. He wants something. So, again, he's going for the ICE raids. And, of course, this is popular rounding up the immigrants and putting them in these terrible conditions, that is popular with Trump's base. They love that. They love hearing about these terrible conditions in these camps. They love the idea of punishing the other for daring to come into our country. The cruelty isn't the bug, it's the feature. And it's the point. And that's why, of course, so many of the border agents, by the way, are and members of ICE have been found out to be racist. I mean, let's go to that Facebook group, for example. That same group that laughed about migrants dying and it said that they wanted to throw burritos at congresswomen, those are the members of the Border Patrol. Even the leader, Trump appointee Carla Provost, was part of that Facebook group. Now, when these terrible messages in this Facebook group came out, she said, quote, "These posts are completely inappropriate and contrary to the honor and integrity I see and expect from agents, agents day in and day out. Any employee found to have violated our standards of conduct will be held accountable." Well, now, new story out, she was part of that group. Provost was part of the Facebook group, and so, of course, obviously, she knew about these posts. She saw those posts. Not only that, but according to The Intercept, the names of 3 current Chief Border Patrol agents, 9 current or former patrol agents in charge and multiple Border Patrol union officials are still in this group. Nobody said anything. Only when they got caught. But she was in that group. That's who makes up ICE agents. That's who makes up Border Patrol. Make no mistake, they delight in this cruelty. That's who they really are. And this really reflects the ugliness that is America under Donald Trump and Republican rule. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.